Hello and welcome to C++ Programming. My name is Jeff. I am your instructor for the course. This is CIS 61 at Shasta College. This is our first level C++ course. If you find you like this and you want to take our second level course, it's CIS 65. This first little welcome video, I just wanted to talk to you about some of the housekeeping stuff and go through a little bit of the syllabus, some of the things that you need to know, and then we'll talk a little bit about Canvas and some of the things that you'll see now in Canvas. So the first thing I want to talk about is just how to get a hold of me. So my office number is listed here, so it's in the syllabus, and if I have a little note here about contacting me by email, if you call the phone number, what I mean is you call the phone number, I do not pick up, you get a voicemail. Hang up and send me an email because that's the best way to get a hold of me. I check my email all the time. My wife says way too much, but that's the best way to catch me. So if I'm not in my office, the easiest way to get me is through there versus me trying to check my voicemail at another time. My email comes through to my phone, and I usually have my phone on me. So anyway, so there's that. And when I say by email, this is the direct email, so using shastacollege.edu. Sometimes messages will get blocked, so the best way to email me is, I mean, you can use this, that's totally fine, but the best way to get a hold of me is to use inbox through Canvas. So when you're in Canvas, you're logged in, use the inbox in there. It lets the messages will track a little bit better, and it knows who you are, so it's not going to block things. We can send different attachments and all sorts of things, and it works a lot better than traditional email. So anyway, so I highly recommend that. And let's see, to catch me in person, I am in 1310A. So I know some of my courses are in 2200, but I go to 1300 is where we have Cisco and Microsoft and those type of courses. So we have two buildings right now, and but in the 1310 area, that's kind of on the side of the building. So if you go to the main entrance of 1300, you won't find us. So kind of walk around to the side, and you'll see Zabi Hendershot is in the same area, and Tom Martin. So all three of us have our little offices in there. Well, technically, mine's a closet, but they made it into my office. But it's nice because it's an old division office, so we have a lot of room in there. So there are some extra computers around. We've got a nice little circular conference table that we can use. So it's great to just throw your laptop out and work on things. So if you have questions about whatever, that's the best way to catch me. I usually like to be there early in the morning. If it doesn't work with your schedule, then message me and we'll figure something out. But I found that by being there early, we don't have any 7 o'clock classes on campus, and honestly, very few 8 o'clock classes. Seems like everyone rolls in around 9. But I guess unless you're part of I don't know, part of the AOJ program or one of those where you're doing the training early in the mornings. But for most part, people are usually free. So I found over the years that typically students will like to come in early in the morning before their other classes and getting help. So that's that. So 1310A, and you'll see us over there. There is an advisory that you have taken CIS2 and passed the grade of a C or higher. That is our Python programming class, our Intro to Computer Science. And I will say this: it's an advisory, it's not a requirement. If you signed up for C++ and this is your first language class, see how you do. Hopefully you'll be okay. Those of you that have taken the CIS2 class, and you're familiar with Python, you'll find that we follow a lot of the same, really kind of the same schedule. It's just we work at a faster pace and cover more in C++. Like I said, if it's brand new to you, I think you'll be okay. C++ is not a difficult language to learn. It can be. I mean, it's very complex, but for what we're doing, this is our first level course. It doesn't, it's not incredibly difficult. We'll just say that. So I'll leave it at that. So you'll have to kind of judge that. All right. So as I mentioned before, if you have taken one of my other classes, or if you haven't, or maybe you took a class from Lou or Zabi or somebody, or Caton, or who knows, it could have been, we've got quite a few people. So, or Ron, but anyway. We are using the same author for most of our coding classes now. So we're using books from Tony Gaddis, and so if you've done the Python course, then you've seen his book. I like doing it that way so that when you change languages, a lot of the, he follows the same layout as far as the chapters and one thing after another, and it makes it nice because I like to use the same assignments for some things so that if you're familiar, if you did a coding assignment in Python, or in Java, and then you come in here and you see the same assignment, maybe a hair different, maybe exactly the same even, but you get to see, okay, I'm familiar with writing this in Java, but now I want to write it in C++. It gives you a really good look at, okay, what are the differences? Because you're able to go back and look at your original code and go, okay, what do I need to tweak here? What needs to be different now that I'm in a different language? So I really like that. So you'll see, of course, we're using Tony Gaddis again. And for this course, you'll see the ISBN number in here. So I have the 10 digit and the 13. Interestingly enough, when I went to Amazon, I put in the 10, it comes up instantly. If I put in the 13, it's like, I don't know, 5 down the list. So I thought that was kind of weird. But anyway, we will be using, if you haven't taken one of my courses before, we will be using a thing called my programming lab. Now, this is a site that we use, and you have to have a license to use it. So if you buy a new version of this textbook, and they have new versions of this exact ISBN in our bookstore, or if wherever you want to buy it. If you buy a new one, it comes with a license key from my programming lab. So you're gonna have it. It works out to be roughly, I don't know, just estimating about 20% of your overall grade for the course. So that's a big piece here. So you want to make sure you have access to that. And you'll notice when you search for this, it says here it is, starting out with C++, blah 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 blah, plus MyLab programming. So if you're buying from a site and it doesn't have this little piece on there, you want to make sure you find out if it has the MyLab. If you're buying a used textbook, assume that someone's already used that code because that's a big deal. And you'll have to buy access to the code. And I'm going to show you in a second, just a minute, how to get to the textbook links and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so that's a big deal. There's this little warning in here about some of the stuff may not work with a Mac. Most of what we're doing in here, in fact, I think pretty much all of what we're doing in here is going to be cloud-based. I can't think of anything offhand that we don't do, using like REPL or Python Tutor. So I think you'll be okay. So I've had people complete the course on the Mac before, so not really a big deal. I think this is a little bit older warning, and you'll see this in a lot of our CIS classes with different things. So anyway, so that's that. We'll kind of leave this alone. There's all sorts of other stuff in here if you are really curious. But what I wanted to show you was this little piece down here where it says our digital book access or purchase directions. So I want to just open this up really quickly and show you this. Let me scroll back to the top. This is just a Word document in here, kind of like the syllabus, and it gives you instructions, and I put little screenshots in here about how to purchase the book digitally. And if you are someone that doesn't really care about having a print book, I highly recommend this way. It's the cheapest way, and I just think it works great. So I like the digital textbook option to be able to open it up and I don't know, it just works great. So anyway, so we have that. So you'll follow along, go to myprogramminglab.com, and then you click through student. You're in the U.S. And we're going to go through. This is an important piece though. When it asks, do you have an access code? You're going to say no. The only way that you would say yes to this is if you bought a new textbook that had the little card on the inside that says, it's a code that says, hey, this is my, and it's a little bit hard to see in this right now in this video, but if you can blow it up a little bit, but you can see kind of how it looks, what the code structure looks like. But it would be on a card with a new textbook. So if you're doing that, you would say, yes, I have an access code, and it'll ask you for that code, and you'll walk through that way. If not, you'll say, no, I need to buy access. And then you'll go down through here. You want to pick our book out. It goes through. It's got a little piece where you click and follow through, and you'll see there's a bunch of different ones. So make sure you get the right one. It's alphabetical by author by default here. If you click Show All, then it gives you a little bit better option. Here is our book right here, and I just put that piece on there. And so anyway, so that's our book. When you click it, it should show this piece down here at the bottom, and you kind of keep going through. And when you're done with this, you're going to come down here and you get to this little part that says this MyLab contains an e-text. So if you don't have a textbook, then this is where you would buy the e-text, and you say okay, and you follow along with this. You accept their, sign your life away with their, accept button, and then it walks you through, and we'll talk about that in a second. But if you have a textbook already, then you can click on, or maybe you've rented it, or you wanted a paperback version, you bought a used book. Then you could say, I would like to buy it without the e-text, and then that will let you buy the My Programming Lab access code. It's around $50. It's $45 to $50 depending on which book we're in, and so there's that there. If you don't have a book and you want to buy the digital copy, which is what I see most students are doing now, it's between 93 and $99 depending on which book this is. So there's that there. I can't remember. I think this one is like $50 for just the My Programming Lab, and I think it's a 98, 95 for the to buy the digital thing with it to get that digital textbook too. So anyway, so it's if you do it the digital way, you have to buy the My Programming Lab anyway. So you're gonna have that piece in there. So you're looking at about $50 to get the e-textbook. So like I said, I think this is probably the best way. It's the cheapest way that I've seen anyway. So anyway, so we have that on there. If we scroll down a little bit. Oh, I lied. 96.95 it looks like from when I typed that up. So hopefully it's still the same. When you come to this point, it's going to ask you if you have a Pearson account. So most likely you'll say no, unless maybe you already have taken a class from me and you already do. So and then you can walk through that way. Now, when after you've gotten your access, you've purchased it, you've gotten your access code, they're going to ask you for a course ID. There's going to be a part where it says I didn't do it on here because I didn't purchase it, but it's going to say, did your instructor provide you with a course ID? Yes, I did. So you'll see there's a little text piece over here, and we're on this first little module. And right now it just says TBA, but there'll be a code in here, right here. And then what I would do is just highlight this whole thing with your mouse and copy it and paste it in when they ask for that course ID. Once you put the course ID in there and hit submit, it will dump you in the course, and I will see your name appear. Okay, so there's a video that goes through this specifically just for this with a little bit more information, and that video is down here. Options for buying the book and My Programming Access. Okay, I also put a little video on changing the YouTube quality settings if you don't know how to do that. All of my videos are at least 1080p, so the quality should be nice for you to be able to just pull it right up and you'll be able to see it and you'll be able to read the text and all that stuff. So make sure you adjust the quality. If you know how to adjust the quality, you only see this video. So that's basically it. And then there's a video down here afterwards of My Programming Lab and how it works. So make sure you check that out. Now, a couple other links. This is just a link to myprogramminglab.com. That's all it is right there. Just a couple of things really quickly, and then we'll wrap this up. You'll see right now I have these listed here, but pythontutor.com. It's an online coding site, step by step, and then I have a video that goes with it using it with C++ because obviously it says Python tutor, right? But it's a visualizer, and this best programming tool ever is understated. So this I think is the greatest tool ever created for learning coding. It's written for Python, but we have the ability to use it with C++. Now it doesn't have full functionality, but it will work fine for what we're doing here at the beginning of the semester. And then I'll find students will actually go back once they know the limitations, maybe later in the semester when we're doing arrays or something, and or even functions and put their code in there and step by step through it. So you'll have two windows on the screen, and again, this video shows you this, but there's two windows on the screen, and in one window you have code, and in the second window you have a step-by-step process where you're going through one line at a time, and it shows you with the interface what the compiler is actually seeing and what the computer is seeing, and it's a great learning tool. So you guys will love this. It's awesome. And again, it's cloud-based. It's all free. So thank you to Philip Guo for that. When you come down here, you'll see another one, REPL or Rappel, however you want to say it. This one is another online coding site, and this group is killing it. So every time I go back to this site, they've added more additional languages, additional features. They're really doing a good job of this. It is free. You sign up for an account, and they allow you to have free cloud storage. Don't sign up for a pay account. You don't need it. So they have everything that we'll need. Again, there's a video in here that shows you how it works. This part about make sure to fork. It is cloud-based storage, and so if you go through and you pull up a file and you tweak it and you're like, oh, I have this new file. Well, it's the same file, so you've just written over your old code. So you have to be really careful of that. That's what fork means. So when you check out the video, it'll show you that too. So anyway, so these will be in there. But start with Python Tutor. We're going to use this first. It'll go step by step. The video shows you how to do it, and there'll be more information as we go on. So I don't want to make this too long. We're at 15 minutes, which is a ridiculously long video for now. So I wanted to just show you this stuff and kind of get you started. So most important thing right now, get your books and or book, sorry, get your book, get your access, the digital. I highly recommend the digital way. And anyway, that'll get going. So if you have questions, please let me know. Thanks and welcome.